Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever time that this video finds you. It's your boy Jay, and today I want to talk about Title Update 2 in general, what we know so far, why I think Title Update 2 is very important, who could possibly be in it, and when we're maybe gonna hear news about Title Update 2 next. And I think it's a little closer than we think. So let's dive right in, right? I honestly believe Title Update 2 is going to be a pivotal moment for Monster Hunter Wilds as a game. Why? Because so far, the updates we've had in Monster Hunter Wilds kind of feel like updates that should have already been in the game from release, right? When you compare Monster Hunter Wilds base release to the previous games in the franchise, it is missing a lot of features that's usually in the game from day one, right? Especially Title Update 1, which is the biggest update we've had so far. Let's talk about what's in Title Update 1 real quickly. So, Zoshia high rank rematch, right? So we get to fight the final boss in high rank. The Grand Hub came through. We got arena quests as well, and then we got Mizutsune as an addition. Now, 3 out of the 4 things I just named are all things that are usually in Monster Hunter games from the jump, but we had to wait a month to get Title Update 1 to get it this time, right? So calling it Title Update 1 is kind of leaving a bad taste in a section of the player base that we have so far. Some people are like, oh, so you're using Title Update 1 to finish the game because this is what's usually already in the finished game before the game even hits the shelf. But we gotta wait a month to get these things off rip, right? So already that's putting a bad taste in a large section of the players. And you know, I can't even fault them for that. You know, it felt kind of like an incomplete game. Like, okay, this isn't usually how Monster Hunter goes, but all right, this is what we're doing this time. Okay, cool. So there's that part, right? And I do believe that that section of players can be very happy if they nail Title Update 2, right? Because Title Update 2 now, you know, it's gonna be an actual addition to the game. It's gonna feel like, oh, okay, finally we're getting things that are additionally to the game, rather than this all should have been here from the jump. Like we're finally gonna get to the territory where, okay, here comes the new stuff, here comes more content than what usually comes in a base Monster Hunter game, you know? So it will feel like the first actual Title Update, and that I think is a large part of why I think Title Update 2 is very important for them to just nail it, for them to smash it out of the park, right? Another reason why Title Update 2 is very important is because who is on the poster for Title Update 2? Lagiacrus, right? 3rd in the popularity poll that they had for Monster Hunter 20th anniversary, and he brings with him a lot of hype, right? So Lagiacrus is coming to a game. We haven't had him in a game for a while, ever since Generations Ultimate, but this is another game that does not have swimming. There's no underwater combat in this game. Let me rephrase that. You can swim in the game, but there's no underwater combat, and we're bringing Lagiacrus. And the last time we had Lagiacrus with no underwater combat was Generations Ultimate, and he kind of felt like a big Kirin, like a big crocodile Kirin, right? Lots of AoEs, lots of lightning all over the place. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool fight, but it's not what we are hyping up. It's not, oh yeah, this is the Lagiacrus I love from Tri and 3U, when you could dive into the water and how dynamic it was. Where in the water you felt disadvantaged because the water sections are hard because you're in his territory, and then you would fight him, he would get tired, he would jump out the water, and you're like, yeah, you in my territory now, I'm about to beat you up now, you know what I'm saying? So that ebb and flow of the fight, right? And it really ties into what the new mechanic of the game was at the time, which was swimming. So it's important for them to really nail Lagiacrus and bring in some of that swimming moveset with the new technology we have on these, you know, bigger, badder consoles, and somehow incorporate some of his swimming moveset in some creative way, despite our inability as a hunter to dive in and attack in the water with him, so that he feels more like the way he felt back in Tribe and 3U, you know, which is where everybody has the rose tinted glasses, rather than the GU fight, which kind of left some people to feel like it's lacking a little bit, right? But if they do something similar to what they did with Mizutsune, right? I mean, we could see moves somehow from maybe Abyssal Lagiacrus and Ivory Lagiacrus and all blended up into one and come out with a badass Lagiacrus fight worthy of his return. Even if Capcom nails Lagiacrus perfectly and he lives up to his 3rd place popularity poll, where people who have yet to hunt him, you know, start looking like Danny DeVito and they're like, oh my god, I get it, right? Even if it's perfect, he's not enough alone to elevate Title Update 2 to the heights I think it needs to be. So this leads me to my next question. Who else is in the title update? What else is in the title update, right? Because look, if title update 2 ends up being just Lagiacrus and Arch-Tempered Duna, I think we're gonna be in for a mixed reception when it comes to title update 2, unless it comes out like next week or something, right? But who else is in it and what else is in it, which we kind of already know a little bit about, because the official Monster Hunter account has been tweeting a little bit about what's coming in free title update 2. They're adding quality of life things, the ability to turn off the glow after you drink your armor skin and demon drug, so that you can have better pictures in photo mode. They're also adding layered weapons, along with even more buffs to the hammer, in adding an offset attack to another offset attack, right? So I guess one of our attacks is going to become an offset attack, along with the addition of a follow-up attack upon successful offset attack. And then they also go on to say other weapons will also receive changes in title update 2, such as dual blades, right? So all of this information about a title update that we don't know when is coming, right after we got the Akuma patch, right, which just dropped last week. So it's like, yo, this is a lot of information about title update 2 so soon. And we also don't have an updated roadmap of any kind. There's no roadmap for the game at all right now, because the roadmap that they gave us previously has all happened. It's all out there and passed. The only roadmap we have is that little clip of Lagiacrus stepping on that monster and roaring. Then it says summer title update 2. That's all we got. Now, here's the thing. We could see them date title update 2, and maybe they even show us a little bit of Lagiacrus in the game as early as later this week with Summer Game Fest. Okay, Summer Game Fest is happening, I think, the day after Switch 2 comes out. I think June 6th is when it is. They had this little infographic with all of the companies that are participating. You know, what is it, 60 plus partners for Summer Game Fest 2025. And as you can see, Capcom is right there. Now, this is not a guarantee. This is Capcom as a company. They could pull up and show something about, I don't know, the new Okami game or the new Onimusha game, or they could show a new Resident Evil. It's the entirety of Capcom. But with there being no roadmap at all for Monster Hunter Wilds, and Monster Hunter Wilds is like the biggest title that they've sold this year, I think 10 million plus sales already, this would be a great time to maybe show, like, hey, earlier we announced the guy who's coming to the game, here's your first look at him in game. Maybe they show a couple, cutscene or a couple scenes of him in game, similar to the first time we actually saw Mizutsune in game, or maybe they show us the entirety of that little cutscene where he steps on the thing and we finally learn why the Scarlet Forest is on fire in the thing, whatever. And then they show, boom, a new roadmap that gives us a date for when title update 2 is supposed to be coming, which lets us know, when to be prepared for title update to drop. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below how you feeling about some of the topics I talked about in this video. How are you feeling about Monster Hunter Wilds right now as a game? Are you waiting for title update 2 to jump back in and hoping it's a big update so that you have a lot of content to sink your teeth into? Do you agree with me that title update 2 is very important for the community sentiment of this game? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to reply to each and every comment that hits this video. And as always, people, happy hunting. Peace.